Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wrestling's Greatest Podcast. Welcome to the Haas Pod, and welcome to a night that's going to be incredible for professional wrestling and incredible for the future of professional wrestling. I couldn't be more excited. I'm joined here today by Charlie Haas and my great friend, SuperTex Brent McKenzie. Brent, how you doing tonight?
Aaron, I'm doing great tonight, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. And I'm looking forward to this interview because this is a first of its kind, and I can't wait to get into this, but let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah, well, before we get started, man, I want to go ahead and let everybody know where they can find us on social media. Instagram is @TheHaasPod. Twitter is @TheHaasPod. Facebook is if you put in the @ sign and type out The Haaspod, it'll take you to the Wrestling's Greatest Podcast Facebook page. So we're really trying to build our followers on all three of those platforms. You can also visit our website. It's www.thehaaspod.com, where you can find each episode of Wrestling's Greatest Podcast featuring myself, Aaron Presley, and WWE wrestler Charlie Haas, a 3-time tag team champion. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the man of the hour, the man with the plan, Mr. Charlie Haas.
Hey guys, first of all, I want to thank Aaron and Brent, because without them, this would not be happening. It's their vision as well as mine, and their brains behind it as well. So this is one of the first, and this is something the Haaspod wants to do that's so different. We decided that we want to do pro wrestling and amateur wrestling, weekly or mix it up. And what we're going to do here is we are going to bring both of them. It's a hybrid, both pro wrestling and amateur wrestling, bringing them together. And we're going to do so in introducing to you my sons, the Haas brothers, version 2.0. You had the original Haas brothers, Russ and Charlie. And this is emotional for me because this is my brother, Russ. He's not here today, but my son, Russ, is named after him. And then my youngest son, Chuck, is named after me. So it's there they are right there. So what I'm going to do is make it emotional. I'm going to turn this over to Aaron and then this over to Brent. I want them to really cut the interview. I'm just here for moral support. They will touch base on both pro and amateur. Go ahead, Aaron.
Absolutely. I couldn't be more excited to do this. And right now, joining us on the Haaspod, Wrestling's Greatest Podcast, we got Russ and Chuck, Russ 11, Chuck 9. Guys, how y'all doing?
Good.
Awesome. My good buddies, y'all having a good night tonight?
Yeah.
Let's get in to from the jump. How does it feel to be Russ and Chuck Haas right now?
Feels great. I like to be named after my uncle.
Yeah, I really like it because we get to do amateur and pro, and it's really fun.
How old were you two when you first started with amateur wrestling?
I was 5.
I was like 6.
Do you remember the first time that you approached an amateur wrestling mat and first time you were involved with amateur wrestling? Do you remember it all, like what you thought about everything?
Yeah.
Well, tell me about it.
So the first day I got introduced to wrestling, we were walking up to the facility, and I just thought that this was going to be a great sport for me to do, and it really turned out to be amazing.
What I did, I walked onto the wrestling mat, and I thought that it was going to be a really great journey, and it's really fun, and I just remember putting on my wrestling shoes and joining.
Okay. What would you say would be the biggest thing that you've learned so far in amateur wrestling?
Just the hard work pays off in practice. If you work hard in practice, it pays off in a match over the weekends. When you do the hard work in practice, weekends are easy.
Hard work, and I think that like whenever you do like little things, it makes a big difference.
That's really, really right. That's a great point you made right there, Chuck. Now let's talk about something that has been really cool that I've been getting to see. So far, you got to have a few professional matches, at 11 and at 9. That's a big deal. You're having your first professional matches. I watched the match at Texoma. That was awesome. And then down in San Antonio, y'all went all the way down to the Alamo City and had a match at Dog Pound Championship Wrestling. Tell me about those two matches.
So every time me and my brother get to do a match, it's great to have a partner like him. Like, no shortcuts. If you do shortcuts, it's gonna pay off when you actually do like a wrestling match or something like that. So it's great to have a little brother that knows what he's doing when you step in that ring.
What I really liked about doing Dog Pound and Texoma is that I can wrestle at different places and feel what different things are like.
That's pretty cool. How have the fans responded to y'all at both places?
Like Chuck said, like when you go different places, you get different crowds. So like if people, let's say, like maybe people like cheer you one crowd, maybe boo you one crowd, or they just all cheer you and all because we're kids and we're wrestling. So it's great when you get different crowds.
That's true. That's awesome. So far, go ahead, Chucky.
Yeah. And whenever you get whenever the crowd says something, it teaches you how to call it in the ring.
You may be the youngest person I've ever heard say "call it in the ring," man. That's awesome, Chucky. I want to jump in real quick, guys. What goes through your mind before you go out through the curtain when you know you're going to wrestle each other? What's going through your head?
I really just what goes through my head is that I know that me and my brother, we know not to mess up because we don't call it backstage and forget the whole thing. So we call in the ring the reaction of the crowd.
What I do whenever I'm getting ready to go out, I just feel the music and I listen to the crowd, and then yeah.
I gotta jump in here. Every wrestling fan and every worker in the entire wrestling world right now has got the biggest smile on their face. You have no idea how much you have just made everybody so proud of you.
I was just, oh my goodness. You kids could teach someone with 20 years experience what to do. That's amazing. That is so refreshing to hear. You guys say, don't call it all in the bag, and so you won't forget everything when you get out to the ring. That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. That made my night. I'm done. Aaron, you take over. That's all I need.
Oh, God bless your heart, Russ and Chuck. God bless your heart. Your daddy has done a great job raising you. Charlie, you did a great job. But I got to know, not only are y'all the hottest thing going today in professional wrestling, amateur wrestling, you're going to take the world by storm. I got to know, boys, both of you, you got to tell me about the first time you went to the ranch. Tell me about the first time y'all went out to the ranch.
Okay, so it was super fun because my dad told us that we were going down to the ranch with Aaron Presley was there, and me and Chuck just had a big smile on our face. We knew we were gonna have a great time. Yep, and my birthday there, it was super fun. We had cake. It was amazing.
Now, when you were there, we did a lot of things. I know you didn't let your dad get much sleep. Y'all were doing y'all were wrestling in the middle of the night. From what I heard. But
yeah, so me and Chuck and then my friend came with us too. We were in the wrestling ring at night, and so me, Chuck, and my friend, we were doing like big bumps and stuff like that. It was like 2 a.m. We hit a big bump. My dad woke up and he yelled at us. He was like, why are you guys still in the ring? And then just went back to bed. Me and my friend and Chuck continued to play. So fun.
Now,
That's
Charlie,
awesome.
tell us what that sounded like when they woke you up, when you guys were out there at the ranch and they were in the middle of the ring in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Yes. Do you hear me?
Yep. We can hear you, Charlie.
Oh, how can I get mad? I couldn't be mad at that. The question was, did I get mad at that?
No. What was your reaction when you heard that loud noise in the ring, waking you up in the middle of the night, and there's Russ, Chuck, and their friend all wrestling around?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Ollie. You had Ollie with you.
Yeah, it was Ollie. I couldn't be mad at that because, I woke up, I was startled. I was like, what is that noise? I thought we were like a truck ran into the side of the side of the side of the shed, not shed, but side of the place where the wrestling was being held at, the facility. And I was devastated. I was like, oh my God, something happened. And I really thought somebody, like, the side of the car hit the side of the facility. I woke up and it's the boys doing monkey flips and high spots off off the second and third rope with the crash pad, of course. And it scared the heck out of me. But then I got angry. But then I'm like, why should I be mad when, if I was their age and I had access to a ring, I would have done the same thing. I go, no, how lucky they are. I mean, growing up, I wouldn't even know how to get in touch with the wrestling ring. I was using my mom and dad's king size bed and destroying bed frame after bed frame. So at least here they didn't have anything to destroy, and no one got hurt. And it was Ollie and it was Russ and it was Chuck. It was a great birthday present and I got to thank you guys for delivering Stewie and of course Aaron. And go on and talk to him about what else we went on, because I know they had a big water slide too, and Rodney and Jazz were down there as well. So.
Hey, boys.
Yep.
I got something else I want to ask you about. When you came out to the ranch, you got to go hunting, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you spent all day. You were ready to go hunting. We got to the night, and it was time to go hunting. Take all the fans here at the Haas Pod, at Wrestling's Greatest Podcast. Take them all on a ride and let them know what happened that night when y'all went hunting that night. What happened?
Okay, so when we got to the ranch after the big water slide, the cake and everything, Aaron said we're going snipe hunting. So I thought we were going to take like guns and like shoot this thing called a snipe that he said. But then he said, okay, we're going to go by the fence and we're going to we had this big red bag and we were going to corner it into the fence. But we had to say peep, peep, as we were going against the fence. And Aaron said, "Oh, I heard him run to the forest." So we walked over into the forest. We had to put all of our flashlights on the ground. So it was pitch black. And we were going in there. I was second in line behind Aaron, and me, Chuck, and Ollie and Aaron, we were in the forest, and I hear this whistling noise, and I look to my right. There's a clown right there in the forest, and he starts chasing all of us. We ran out of there so fast.
Whenever we dropped the lights and we kept the one red light and it would keep on blinking, and we'd walk. I thought it was like a gorilla I saw, and then we put the thing by it and it was a clown. Yeah, we ran out of the forest as fast as we could. Yeah.
I've never seen anybody run as fast in my life. I got to be honest. I haven't ever seen a human being run as fast as y'all did. Y'all and Ollie. Well, y'all are doing so great. We're so proud of you guys. That was a fun weekend, but it doesn't in any way compare to what you're doing in the world of amateur wrestling and in the world of professional wrestling. No doubt you have all kinds of goals. What's some goals that you could share with the fans of the Haas Pod and the fans of Wrestling's Greatest Podcast?
Really, my goals are just to become a real superstar and go off what my dad taught me, to become the greatest like him. So Yeah, to be better than my dad. And so everything he taught us, we're going to put that to use and learn some things on the way. So I just want to be a really big superstar.
Awesome.
What I want to do, I want to like hold a title, and actually like what it feels like to be a champion. And an amateur, I want to say like become a national champion.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now I know you're getting all kinds of training. You're training in the amateur, but you're also training in the professional ranks. Now, I've heard a story of your dad coming home one day, and he comes into the garage, and there's ladders everywhere, and there's the real WWE Tag Team Championship hanging from the rafters, and you boys are having a TLC match. You got to tell me about this. What happened that day?
Okay, so when my dad left for work, it was me and my brother just got up and we're like, okay, Chuck. And Chuck said, Russ, hey, you want to have a wrestling match? And Chuck said, yeah. So we went in the living room. We played there for a little bit. And then Chuck was like, hey, Russ, you want to have a TLC match? I was like, yeah. But then we couldn't bring the ladders inside the house. So we brought a mattress out in the garage. And we put the ladders up, like all four corners of the rings. And then we took a string and hung it from the top of the garage door. And we tied the WWE tag team belt to it. And me and Chuck were doing all types of crazy stuff. Chuck would try to go up and grab the belt, but I would like push the...
Yeah, he would push the ladder off and then I would fall. And then he would like go to grab another ladder. And
Now,
then one time we grabbed two ladders and set them up next to each other, and then we both got on one, and then we started fighting for the title.
Now I know your dad makes sure y'all have all the championships you can get off the toy aisle at Wrestle, or excuse me, at Walmart for all the cool stuff, but that wasn't good enough, was it?
No.
That's not good enough for Haas, the Haas Brothers 2.0. Y'all needed the real WWE Tag Team title, and that's what was hanging up there. Who won that match that day?
I let Chuck win that match because when we heard the car pull up, I was going up to get the title. Chuck pushed the ladder over. I fell. Chuck got the ladder, went up quickly, grabbed it, and the car was in the driveway. And me and Chuck took the title. We set it on the mattress. We ran inside like nothing happened. And that's when my dad opened the garage and found out that me and him were having a match.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Guys, y'all are great. Tell everybody here at the Haas Pod, tell us about your YouTube channel.
Okay, so me and Chuck have this YouTube channel, and we like to put matches that we have for fun at our house. So everyone can see what we're doing.
Yeah, what you should have
Hold up,
done.
Russ. Hold up, Russ.
Yeah.
What you shouldn't be doing.
I hear your dad laughing back in the background.
Dude, it's what they shouldn't be doing. I mean, Jackie and I are divorced now, but I see the matches going on at their house, and I see these they have these French blinds that are real expensive. You know, the blinds are missing, torn down from the window. Ladder goes through the window, and I'm like, thank God it's not my house. My God, man. Oh man, and I tell you, when I pulled up and I found the belt, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Nothing. Like they acted like nothing happened. I'm like, you guys are. At the time, I was like, what is going on? And Jackie's like, relax, we're just having a TLC match, and I'm like, you know what? Who can blame them? I laugh at it now, and if it adds to the mystique and the history down the road of the Haas brothers, and you know what, so be it. But it's comical. It is.
Hey guys, I got a question that just kind of popped into my brain here. And I'm just kind of wondering, you guys obviously love wrestling. What was the first time you ever realized that Dad was doing this at the highest level? Like, did it just y'all see it one day on TV? Did you always kind of know? How did you figure out that that your dad was the man?
So first, me and Chuck started watching like WWE and all that NXT stuff when we were younger. And then we asked my dad about it, and he told us that he was a WWE superstar. Me and Chuck were so stunned. And we walked into his office, and he had the WWE World Champion belt, and then he had the tag team title.
And the team angle singlet.
Yep. And
all that stuff.
and then we started watching his matches from there until now.
And the other thing we do, yeah, and Uncle Shelton, we would go and we would research this stuff, and we would pick up moves from there, and we would apply them in our matches.
That's awesome. I've got a question, and this is going to be the hardest hitting question. This is a surprise question that I have for the Haas Brothers 2.0, okay? And it has to do with your dad and Uncle Shelton, okay? Now, who do you think would win an arm wrestling match between your dad and Uncle Shelton?
I honestly don't know. Yeah, so
We put you on the spot.
Charlie, how's it feel for them to not immediately say Dad would win that arm wrestling match?
I mean, we're both tied 1-1 on TV, but yeah, I would hope you'd say Dad would, but if not, I guess you're probably the one that's still on TV trying to get pushed, bro. So
it is an arm wrestling match for the ages. Arm wrestling match for the ages, boys.
Wrestling.
Yeah. Who would win in an arm wrestling match between your dad and Uncle Shelton?
I would like to say my dad, not just because it's not on TV no more. It's just because every time I go over to my friend's house, he's working out, and I just believe in my dad.
What I think at first, I think my dad would win. And if they did another one, I would think Uncle Shelton would win.
There you go. Maybe that's something we need to make happen here, Charlie and Brent. Maybe one day we need to have the very first ever world's greatest arm wrestling challenge.
Tell you kids. Oh my.
Man, they sold you out, Charlie.
Nothing like family. Who needs enemies when you got family, right?
Friends like these. Huh?
Oh well. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Hey guys, what grade are you in right now in school? And if you had to pick a favorite class that you're in, what would it be?
So I'm in 5th grade, and over the years that I was in school, I really like social studies because I like to learn about history of things, and I just like social studies because the history of things, they're just like cool to me.
Awesome.
Yeah, like how our country was built and found. So
I'm in 3rd grade, and I really like math. Because right now we're doing multiplication and division, and those are the new things that we're learning, and I really like them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Those are both really great, guys.
So guys, this weekend, I know you guys you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Talked to your dad earlier, and you two just made weight. So what do you expect to go down this weekend? What's going to happen?
I expect some high level kids because this is a big national tournament, like my dad said. This is a big national tournament, so I expect some kids that are as good as me, maybe better than me. And so, like last year, I was on top in Oklahoma for the age division and bottom of Texas for the age division. But now I'm on the bottom of Oklahoma for my age division and top of Texas. So I will be the youngest in my bracket or in my age group. So I expect some older and tougher kids.
Yeah. Yeah, the same as me, and I expect me to give it my all and to do and hard work. Pays off.
Hey, Russ and Chuck, so far in your amateur career, what are some championships that both of you have won so far?
Okay, so Tulsa Nationals, I went to that tournament. It was two or 3 years ago. I got in the finals. I lost the finals match, so I got second there, but I got a Big Eagle trophy and some other big national tournaments that I won. JOC in Oklahoma. I won this Las Vegas national tournament with my friend Ollie this summer, and we got a big ring for it. So that was very fun, a cool adventure for us. And this Tulsa tournament, I placed fourth. Other tournaments, Houston Nationals in Texas. I've won Houston Nationals 4 times. Lone Star Nationals, Heart of Texas. Panhandle Nationals, where I got this cool belt, and then there was this Oklahoma tournament called OWA, and I got this huge belt. It was bigger than my dad's WWE belt. It's so cool.
What I did, I went in states and I took 5th, and then I was in Greco and yeah, and I was in Greco and I was in the finals, and I ended up pinning him. Yeah, with arm throw. And then there's this big trophy at home, and it's called the Ring of Fire trophy, and I won that. And then I got we went to this tournament where you have to wrestle outside, and I got outstanding wrestler.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now I've got a question that I'm sure everybody that's your age that's watching this right now is curious to know. And that question is this: Russ and Chuck, what's your bedtime?
Well, for him, I don't know, because he might stay up later. But for me, for school, I usually go to bed probably around like 9:30. You always set your alarm up first. Yeah, I'm up first before him. So I get up and I get ready, and then I'll wake him up.
Me, yeah, I'll definitely opposite of Chuck. Chuck's I stay up later, but he goes to bed earlier and wakes up earlier than me. My bedtime is around 11 or 12, and I wake up like one day I woke up 5 minutes before school, got dressed, rode my bike to school, and I was a minute early.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I got one more question for you guys, and this is a big one. How does it feel to be the Haas Brothers 2.0? How does it feel to be the next generation of the Haas Brothers?
Like I said before, it's amazing to be named after my uncle, who I know is an amazing wrestler with my dad.
What I really like is that we get to like work together, and what the other thing I like is that we get to work in the ring together, and like figure out like how we do this, and how to create new moves.
And also that me and Chuck are gonna be big when we get to like wrestling, because we're named after the first generation Haas brothers that were super big.
And the other thing I like is that we start really early, and then later on it pays off.
You're exactly right, guys. And just know that the entire wrestling world is incredibly proud of you guys, and where everybody is just watching to see what you're doing. And you're definitely the heartbeat of the future of amateur and professional wrestling. And, you know, I love you guys. Super proud of you. We have a great time. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Did y'all have a good time?
Yeah.
Yes. Aaron, one more question about all the like big national titles I won. I won this thing called Kids Nationals, and it's freestyle and Greco Nationals. And I was about 7 or 8, and our whole family, we drove down to Atlanta, Georgia, and it was like a 15-hour drive. And I remember getting there, stepping on the scale, weighing in. I knew this was going to be the tournament that I was going to win and like become big. So when I won that tournament, I just felt like amazing.
Would
Yeah, I
you
won
say that?
freestyle and Greco.
Would you say that's your greatest moment so far in amateur wrestling?
What?
Would you say that is your greatest moment so far in amateur wrestling?
Yeah, that and the Las Vegas tournament I just had, because that was a super hard tournament. Me and my friend, we got first in that both. Yeah, the Kids Nationals was a very tough tournament.
There's another time whenever we were wrestling, and I believe I was like in my like 5th match, and my uncle Shelton came down and coached with my dad.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Right now, who would you say is your favorite wrestler in the world?
I would say my dad, because he's right next to me whenever I need like something, like whenever I need him for a move, he's like, okay, yeah, I'll come help you with that and stuff. So like my dad, because he's like right next to me, I can talk to him whenever I need.
I have actually 2. So I like my dad and Arn Anderson, because he trained my dad, and also because he was part of the 4 Horsemen. And I really like the 4 Horsemen.
Yes.
I know. I'm about to say. I know Brent's smiling again.
Oh man, that's fantastic. I can't get enough of this. This is making me so happy right now.
There needs to be some kind of award that Charlie's given for how well he's raised his kids. I just
and
throw
Charlie,
it out
I'm
there.
just I'm watching you on the screen here, and I know that when we release this, not everybody can see you, but I'm watching your reaction to them, and just the look of pride on your face is warming my heart. So I want to ask you, what's that feel like, man? How, I know you're proud of them, so I want you to describe that to everybody that's going to be watching and listening to this. Just what's it like to be their dad and watch them do what they're doing and succeed and grow within their sports, and just be phenomenal kids, because they're great kids. But how's that make you feel?
You know, it's just they work so hard. People don't understand how hard amateur wrestling is. It's a sport, like they said. Little things make a big difference. You can't look for the shortcuts. And I think let's face it, both amateur and pro wrestling, you start wrestling when you're put into an uncomfortable position. You can relate to that in both amateur and pro wrestling. It puts when you wrestle, you're put into an uncomfortable position. You got to learn how to get out of that. Once you learn that, you can apply that in life, whether it's when you get older, whether it's homework, school, death, taxes, divorce, any type of hardship that's thrown your way. You can use what you've learned in wrestling to overcome that and become successful, or to get around that obstacle and to become successful. I think they're learning some really good traits that'll help them down the line if they continue to wrestle. If not, no big deal. They're going to become grown men, and they can apply that towards whatever they want. They'll be successful, whether it's wrestling or not. I just want them to be the best they can be. I want them to be I never got a chance to say it, but I want them to just love each other. I never got the chance to tell my brother that before he died. So I want them to know that they got each other as best friends. They got each other's back. They love each other, and no matter what, no one can take away that they're brothers. They'll always be there for each other, and that's the most important thing. So, but wrestling, I think we'll see what they do. I think they have the potential to do whatever they want. They just have to stay focused, and as long as they have people around them, good people like we have around us, or like my friends around them, I think they'll be taken care of. So I think they'll be good. So I'm looking forward to see the future of the hospital. It really is.
Well, Charlie, I must say that you're doing a damn good job raising up these fine young men. So I commend you for that. And just listen to them talk, man. Their maturity level is off the charts for an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old. It's mind blowing hearing them speak. And so I know that's you put a great plan in place for these kiddos, and I love watching it happen. I've been a fan of Russ and Chuck ever since you introduced them to me a few years back at Texoma. So I'm just I've really enjoyed watching their journey, and I look forward to everything that they're going to accomplish, and they're going to accomplish great things. So I'm along for the ride, man, for sure.
Oh yeah. Glad to have you along for the ride. So it'll be fun for all of us. Well, so.
Guys, without a shadow of a doubt, you could tell how much love is in the household of Haas, and it just radiates through y'all's relationship. We're incredibly proud of the Haas brothers 2.0, Russ and Chuck. We're incredibly proud of you, Charlie, and we're looking forward to the future of both of them, and in amateur as well as professional wrestling. And we just want to thank everybody for joining us this week for such an incredibly special episode of the Haas Pod, Wrestling's Greatest Podcast. Thank you to Russ. Thank you to Chuck. Thank you to Charlie. Thank you to SuperTex, Brent, McKenzie. And on behalf of all of them, I'm Eric Presley. We want to invite you to join us on every outlet of social media at the Haas Pod, as well as at thehaaspod.com. Thank you once again. I'm Eric Presley, and we will see you all next time.